Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. In today's video, we are going through sequences. Make sure you have a pen and paper ready so you can write down some notes and also answer some questions. So we can say a sequence is a pattern of numbers or shapes that follow a specific rule. Here is a sequence. You have the numbers 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. What you need to know is that each one of these are a term. So this is the first term, this is the second term, this is the third term, this is the fourth term, and 13 in this example is the fifth term. What these three dots at the end represent, it means that this list goes on forever. And the term to term rule describes how to get from one term to the next. So how to get from 5 to 7, from 7 to 9, from 9 to 11, from 11 to 13. In this example, the term to term rule will obviously be plus 2. Now we will go through nth term. So the nth term of a sequence tells you how to work out the term at position n. So basically it is a general rule, and you can use this general rule to work out the term in this sequence. So for example, if we want to work out the first term, we know that the general rule for this sequence is 2n plus 3. In the next few slides, I will explain to you how we get the nth term, but for now we'll work through this example. So the first term is basically 2 times 1, because this 1 is the term we're looking for. We're looking for the first term. So 2 times 1 plus 3 equals 5. And as you can see, the first term is 5. If you want to look for the second term, it's 2 times 2. So you're replacing this n with whatever number term you're looking for. So it's 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 plus 3 equals 7. As you can see from the sequence, the second term is 7. We can use this rule to work out the term at any position. So for example, if we wanted to work out the 10th term, instead of writing this sequence out, we can just put the number 10 into the nth term. So it's 2 times 10, which is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. So we know that the 10th term in this sequence will be 23. Now we will go through how to work out the nth term. So here are the first 5 terms of a sequence. Write down an expression for the nth term. We need to remember an expression does not have an equal sign. So we have the sequence of 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. These are the terms. So first, second, third, fourth, and fifth term. The first thing that you will need to do is find what the difference is, or what the term to term rule is. So how do we get from 5 to 7? You plus 2. How do you get from 7 to 9? You plus 2. So on and so forth. So whatever number this is, you put it in front of the letter n. So we've got 2n. Now there is some information missing here. The way you work out the remaining information is you find the 0th term. So you go back 1. So if we go back 1, instead of plusing 2, you minus 2. So 5 minus 2 is obviously equal to 3. And then this 3, this 0th term, goes after the 2n in this example. So the nth term for this sequence is 2n plus 3, which was the same as what we had on the last slide. Let's go through a few more examples. Here is another sequence: 1, 4, 7, 10, 13. Above it you write the term, so first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. Find out what the difference is, or how to get from one number to the other. So in this example, how do we get from 1 to 4? You plus 3. How do you get from 4 to 7? You plus 3. So on and so forth. So this number is the number you put in front of the letter n. So we've got 3n. Now you have to go back 1. So you have to find the 0th term. So 1 minus 3, because we're going back. So instead of plusing 3, we have to minus 3. 1 minus 3 equals minus 2. And this minus 2 goes after the 3n. So the nth term for this sequence is 3n minus 2. Let's go through another example. We got 24, 19, 14, 9, and 4. This sequence is going down, but you will apply the same rules. How do we get from 24 to 19? Minus 5. How do we get from 19 to 14? Minus 5. So on and so forth. So this is the number you put in front of n. So it is minus 5. So you have to put the number minus 5 in front of n. The same as how we have been doing previously, we have to find the 0th term. So instead of minusing 5, you plus 5. So 24 plus 5 gives 29. And this 29 is the number that we put after minus 5n. So the nth term for this sequence is minus 5n plus 29. Okay, let's go through a few more examples. Here are the first 5 terms of a sequence: 4, 11, 18, 25, and 32. Write down an expression in terms of n for the nth term of the sequence. As we have done previously, we will lay it out like this. How do you get from 4 to 11? You plus 7. How do you get from 11 to 18? You plus 7, so on and so forth. So this 7 is the number you put in front of n. So it's 7n. We find the 0th term. So instead of plussing by 7, to go back, we minus by 7. 4 minus 7 gives minus 3. And this minus 3 will bring down, and we have our nth term. So the nth term for this sequence is 7n minus 3. The next type of question is write down the 11th term of the sequence. We've done this in the first slide. You replace the letter n with the number 11 because we're trying to find the 11th term. So it's 7 times 11 minus 3. 7 times 11 is 77. Minus 3 is equal to 74. So we will say the 11th term is 74. The final question is 96 a term in this sequence? The way you figure this out, you write 7n minus 3 equals 96. You lay it out like this. If after we solve this, and what it means by solving, at the end we want to get n equals something. At the end, if n is a whole number, that means that 96 is a term. If n is not a whole number, then it means that 96 is not a term. Let's solve for n. So the first thing that we'll do, we will take this 3 to the other side. So 7n equals 99. We divide both sides by 7. N is equal to 99 divided by 7, which equals 14.1428, so on. Because this number is not an integer, because it is not a whole number, that means that 96 is not a term in this sequence. These are the 3 types of questions that generally occur. It would ask you to write the nth term. After that, it would ask you for the 11th term or the 12th term or any n term. And then finally, it will ask you, is this number a term in this sequence? So these are the 3 types of questions which generally occur for sequences. We'll go through another example. Here are the first 5 terms of a sequence: 2, 6, 10, 14, 18. Write down an expression in terms of n for the nth term of the sequence. Again, we will lay it out like we have done previously. How do we get from 2 to 6? You plus 4. How do you get from 6 to 10? You plus 4, so on and so forth. This number underneath, this 4, is what goes in front of the n. So we have 4n. You go back 1 term and you find the 0th term. So instead of plussing by 4, we will minus by 4. So 2 minus 4 equals minus 2. So you have 4n minus 2. So this is the nth term, or this is the general rule for this sequence. The next question, write down the 13th term of the sequence. You will replace this n with the number 13. 4 times 13 minus 2. So 4 times 30 is 52. 52 minus 2 equals 50. So we would say that the 13th term is 50. The next question says, is 102 a term in this sequence? Again, the way you lay this out, you write 4n minus 2 equals 102, and you will solve for n. If n is a whole number, if n is an integer, then 102 is in this sequence. If n is not a whole number, then n is not in the sequence. So let's solve this. 4n minus 2 equals 102. You take this 2 to the other side, so on this side it's minus, on the other side it becomes a plus. 4n equals 104. You will divide both sides by 4. So n equals 104 divided by 4, which equals 26. Because we have a whole number, it means that 102 is a term in this sequence. Here are a few questions for you to attempt. Please pause the video, have a go, and we'll go through the answers on the next slide. Hopefully you had a chance to attempt these questions. Let's go through the answers. For each of these sequences, find the nth term, write down the 10th term, and is 67 a term in the sequence? So As we've done previously, you lay it out like this. How do we get from 7 to 13? You plus 6. How do we get from 13 to 19? We plus 6, so on and so forth. That's the number we put in front of n. That's how we got 6n. You go back 1, so 7 minus 6 equals 1. So the nth term will be 6n plus 1. For question 2, write down the 10th term. Obviously, we're trying to find out the 10th term, so it's 6 times 10 plus 1. 6 times 10 is 60, plus 1 is 61. So the 10th term is 61. Is 67 a term in the sequence? Again, you will lay it out like this. 6n plus 1 equals 67. We have to find the value of n. So the first thing that you would do, you would take this 1 to the other side. So 6n equals 66. You divide both sides by 6. N equals 11. Because we have a whole number, it means that 67 is a term in the sequence. Let's go through the next one. How do we get from 96 to 93? You minus 3. How do we get from 93 to 90? You minus 3. So on and so forth. So it is minus 3n. And we have to go back 1. So 96 plus 3 equals 99. So the nth term is minus 3n plus 99. Let's go through the next question. We have minus 3 times 10 because we are trying to work out the 10th term. So it's minus 3 times 10, which equals minus 30 plus 99 equals 69. Is 67 a term in the sequence? You lay out as we have done previously. Minus 3n plus 99 equals 67. You take this 99 to the other side. So 67 minus 99 equals minus 32. So minus 3n equals minus 32. You divide both sides by minus 3. And that gives n equals 10.66 recurring. Because this is not a whole number, it means that 67 is not a term in this sequence. Here is a summary page of what we have gone through today. We have gone through what a sequence is, we have gone through what the nth term is, and we have gone through 3 typical questions which come up for sequences. I hope you have been able to benefit. If you do have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section below. Hopefully I'll see everyone safe and sound for the next one, and as always, take care of yourselves.